Hey everyone, thank you so much for joining ClearTech Loop. I'm Joe Peterson. I'm the Vice President of Cloud and Security for Clarify 360, and I'm the Chief Analyst at ClearTech Research. And I'm here today with Fernando Montenegro. Hi, Fernando.
Hello, ma'am. How are you today?
I'm doing great. Thank you for making time to visit.
Of course.
Y'all, if you are not following Fernando, you need to. He is the Vice President and Practice Lead for Cybersecurity for the Futurum Group. He is one of the sharpest security analysts I know. See, he's shaking his head, but it's true. And I think what makes him such a great analyst, in my humble, is that he's an engineer by trade. And so he really understands the tech and how it fits together in the landscape, the customer's landscape. He's not going to say anything nice about himself, so I'm just going to have to say wonderful things about him.
Thank you, ma'am.
Uh,
Thank you.
Guys, if you're new to the podcast, we're a hot take approach, and we focus on cybersecurity, cloud security, and AI security. And we ask each guest each week 3 questions, and our goal is to educate our listeners here and now, real time. So without further ado, first question, Fernando. How can cybersecurity professionals leverage generative AI to break out of what's been a very traditional tools and tech mindset and drive more innovative thinking and execution in their security programs?
They have to jump into the pool with it, right? So this is a hot take. They have to jump into the pool. And
All right.
what I mean by that is that AI, generative AI. So, by the way, I've been around the block for a while, and the joke I like to say is like Elrond in Lord of the Rings, talking to Gandalf. I was there, Gandalf. I was there 3,000 years ago. Right? But I've been around AI not since the 1950s, no, but like I've lived through I've lived through the second AI winter, right? That happened in the 80s and 90s, right? And so I've been around the block for a while. And the thing I can tell you is that the thing I find fascinating about AI, like it warms my heart, is that it is one of the most interesting technologies that I've come across in the context of bringing together technology and business, right? And like I love cloud. I've covered cloud for years. That's how we first met. The cloud, for all the phenomenal things about cloud, and trust me, there are, it's still very technical. AI, on the other hand, bridges the gap between technology and the business in a way that I haven't seen anything else do so far. So my recommendation to practitioners is you have to jump into the water to understand what's going on. And the way that you break out is, okay, you use AI. First of all, you don't deploy it day one on your mission critical production system.
Mhm.
But the way that you do it is you experiment. Okay, what is this GenAI thing? I strongly recommend people take a look at what is the actual technology, right? You don't need to read the Transformers paper, like the Attention is All You Need paper from 2017. That's not it. But you need to understand, okay, it's based on novel neural network architectures. Great. What are neural networks? Oh, neural networks work this way, and you have layers, and you have back propagation, and on and on and on, right? Because once you understand what the technology is, you have a better grasp of what it can and most importantly, what it can't do, right? So I say jump in, both in terms of understanding what the technology is and it's not, and using it on your regular cases. I use AI on a regular basis.
Mhm.
As a sparring partner. I use AI as a glorified search engine, right? I
Mhm.
use AI to help me with coding, right? I write horrible Perl-looking Python code, right? But I was able to use vibe coding, whatever you want to call it, for languages that I'm not as proficient in, like TypeScript or something like that. So anyway,
Yeah.
sorry, I'm belaboring the point. I think that the way that you break out of the tool and tech mentality is you learn where it actually works in your use cases. And you are going to find quite a few places where it's great. You'll find a few places where it's not. And that's where you bring your judgment as a professional to, hey, look, Let's apply it here. Let's apply it over there. Does
I
this help?
think that's a good answer. And you bring up such a valid point because I'm starting to see folks have conversations that, and I mean specifically CIOs and CISOs. Now, a lot of them already do talk, and a lot of them are friendly, but some of them aren't so friendly, right? If we're honest about it. And I'm seeing these conversations occur where they have to work together, where the silos have to come down in order to get AI to work, right?
100%.
Just,
100%.
and you're right. That didn't have to happen in cloud. The infrastructure guys in cloud could go do what they wanted to do, right? Nobody was the wiser. So, yeah.
So, but yeah. So once we jump into it, right? Once you start using it more, you are in a better position to see the potential. Because I think that to pick up, I love the way you framed it. Like that we have to bring these silos down, and one of the ways to bring these silos down is to have empathy for the other side, if you will, right? And if security teams can see the potential within their own world of what generative AI and can do, they can get a glimpse of, hey, perhaps the business users and the IT, they are so excited about this because if I saw what it can do for me, I can only imagine what it can do for them, right? So it brings people together, right? So I think that the way you break out of things is to use it so you understand it better, so you can work with others around it better.
Yeah, really good point. And in that same vein, because for years, security's been known as the Department of No, right? That was the running joke.
Of course, yeah.
So, how can organizations still embed security and privacy controls into AI model development without slowing down innovation?
So this is an important one in the context that I wish I could give you a eyes open up. There's a perfect answer to this problem, and this is just like, no, there isn't.
Right.
I think that the way that you embed privacy security into this initiative is by being there early and by helping that initiative flourish. Again, you understand what they want to do, and you are yourself equipped enough to bring in, look, this is where things break. This is where it's different. These are the issues that we are likely to have. So let me help you. Help me help you as the security practitioner in this AI initiative that we have, right? Let me pinpoint for you what are the key areas of where we are concerned about something, and let me help you by creating. I love the paved path approach, right? Allow me let me do the heavy lifting of analyzing some of the models that you're doing, that you want to use, analyzing what the use cases are, of working with your team on a very lightweight threat model exercise, right? And then if we can get rid of, if we can tackle the conceptual security issues around AI usage early on, right? It becomes that much easier to. It's just a little bit of friction early on to figure out where you want to go. That makes the whole journey that much easier. I love bad analogies. It's a bad analogy of let's say that you want to go. So I live just outside Toronto, right? And let's say that I want to go to New York City, right? It's the difference between me picking up before I start on a journey, looking at the map and figuring out, oh, okay, I have to go down this particular route. I can cross here. I can go there. It's those few minutes of, oh yeah, by the way, oh look, I'm probably going to need to fuel around here. It's that initial planning and initial consideration a little bit on, rather than just getting into my car and driving, right? So it's and we all do this instinctively, right? Everywhere that we always plan for things. I think that frankly, where I think that sometimes we run into problems with security and AI is because, to your point, we were known as the Department of No, 100%. If that's the vibe, pun intended, that we're bringing to the conversation, then people are not going to want to talk to us because nobody wants to be, right. And then we're going to come back at the end as the party spoilers, right? Or because, hey, oh no, you can't use this, it's insecure. If we had been involved from the beginning, things would have been so much different, right? So I think that the way that we embed it into the effort is by being there at the beginning, by having empathy for what people are trying to do, for having the right level of knowledge about what they're trying to do with AI. And I go back to, okay, this is why these models work this way, why these models work that way. You want to use this third party to do this? Oh, let me tell you, by the way, this kind of data sharing with a third party, it's not something that our company may be comfortable doing. And on. But you solve all of this at the design stage, at the initiation stage, not down the line when people want to release to production. Right? Sorry, long-winded answer, but it's you got to be there. Like, was it Woody Allen or the Beatles who said that like 90% of life is showing up or something like that? Right?
I don't know, but okay. So you referenced Gandalf, you referenced Jerry Maguire, right? And now I'm going to ask you to reference and put on your Wizard of Oz CISO hat. Okay. Wizard of Oz CISO hat. Yeah. And be thinking about AI adoption. And tell me how to balance for an organization securing emerging threats. And then the other side of that coin, organizational governance. Where do you come in?
In terms, so I like as analysts, we cover many trends happening, and I'm not going to go into all of them. One of the major strategic trends that we're seeing that like I've been in this industry, I've been around this industry for 30 years. Yeah. One of the changes that we're seeing is there is this undeniable strategic lift to cybersecurity, right? It is now, it has been for, I don't know, 5-10 years now. Yeah. It has been board level conversation. Right. It has been career making or breaking for people, right? Yep. I like to think that I say that so Mark Andreessen had that famous quote in the early 2000s or late 2000s, early 2010. Software is eating the world, right? Mm-hmm. He was right? It did eat the world. Everything we do around technology. So as technology becomes more important, more strategic, it changes how we make decisions about cybersecurity, what influences the decisions about cybersecurity, right? And it's the kind of conversation where, well, now perhaps making a choice between model A and model B also has to factor in geopolitical risk of where that provider is located. Well, we weren't thinking about geopolitical risk of some of us were, but like as a smaller set of the user population was thinking about geopolitical risk years ago, right? Or the fact that this particular technology decision we're going to make is influenced by our insurance coverage, or this particular alignment has to be done in light of this particular set of regulations, and regulations, whether it's industry regulations or national or state, local laws, right? Anyway, where I'm going with this is that this is changing the nature of what it means to be a security professional. Whether you are an engineer who is working on things, whether you are a first level, mid-level management who's working on things, whether you are a senior manager working on things. So that particular CISO hat that you were bringing up, it's not just one hat, right? It's 9 or 10 different hats. And some of those different hats are to be used in relation to the CIO, in relation to the board, in relation to the development teams, in relation to the rest of the company, in relation to the customers, in relation to general counsel. So we're asking, I promise you there's a point to my madness. We're asking that security executives for them to be that much more worldly, right? So I mentioned this because, to go back to your question, the balance between emerging threats and governance and trust, right? If that CISO, that security executive, they are playing on all sides. They are playing multiple games at the same time, and they have multiple roles at the same time.
Yeah.
Right. One of the most important roles that they have is as the translator of things. Right. They are the translator of security issues to non-security decision makers. They are the translator of business constraints to security teams. They are the translators of security requirements that are coming in from outside regulators, from your customers, from your business partners. I mean, how often do we now get to see CISOs either directly involved or somewhat involved in justifying the company's own security posture during a sales process?
Absolutely.
So what I mean by this is that it's not about coming down to one side. Oh, let's focus on emerging threats, or let's focus on governance and trust. How do we play all the sides all the time, right? To use another bad movie reference, everything everywhere all at once, right?
You get a million of them. I bet you get a million of them. But you make such a good point. I remember studying for the CISSP, and I thought, oh, it's going to be all technical questions. And exactly, I was just so surprised at all the risk questions. And now they were so wise having all those risk questions in there, because that's such a big part of the job.
And the part of the job now is changing as well. The job is, it's not a dirty word, but the job is more political now.
Absolutely.
Right? The job is more collaborative now. The job is more consultative now. And part of the reason for that is because, again, security has become that much more strategic. And as it became more strategic, another consequence is that you now have technology vendors that were not traditionally security vendors.
Oh, yeah.
Adding significant amount of security functionality into their products. Well, the decisions about those product acquisitions are not security, right? You're not going to ask security to choose the entirety of your estate. Who's going to choose what workstations your people use, or what database is going to be used? But security has to be involved in those conversations, right? So it changes the nature of what we're doing to be that much more collaborative, to be that much more involved with the stakeholders who are actually making those decisions, with the input from security, right? And some organizations, that input from security is going to be a strong suggestion. In some organizations, that input from security is going to be a showstopper. A showstopper issue if security needs are not met. It varies. And the CISO, they need to be able to navigate which kind of organization are they on, which kind of problem they are solving. Sorry, I went on a rant, but it's a fascinating topic a fascinating time to be in this industry.
It is. And with that, it's a fascinating opportunity for me to get to collaborate with you and share some thoughts. So it's been lovely. Thank you so much for giving your time today. And everyone, thank you for joining. And we will catch you next time.
Absolutely. Thank you.